Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the May 21st voting meeting of the Pine-Richland School Board to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Ms. Williams.
Mr. Lyons?
Here.
Ms. Misbach?
Here.
Mr. Kashani?
Here.
Dr. Campbell?
Here.
Mr. DiTullio? Mrs. Goebel?
Here.
Dr. Meyer?
Here.
Mr. Moy?
Here.
And Dr. Mihalik?
Here.
Thank you.
All right, I'd like to turn it right over to Ms. Hathorn for student and staff recognition, please.
We're first going to start with student and school district recognition. Tis the season for school rankings.
Rachel, I apologize. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
I did skip over. Recognition of visitors, please. Let's do that first. So then if there is someone who'd like to address the board, may just please, just approach the podium, tell us who you are, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Thank you so much. My apologies.
No problem. Thank you for your time. My name is Melissa Josh. I have 3 children in the district. My concern is the safety of our children with the repeated school shootings. I feel that we need more of a security presence at our schools with metal detectors, armed police, and security guards. I do not feel that our children are safe. I feel that we need a larger security team for our district. We have buildings with a number of entrances and exits. We also have a number of community members, particularly at the high school, who are on school premises. I realize that there are a number of changes being implemented, including door access control, upgraded door lock system, Raptor visitor management system, and the mousetrap entrances added to schools. I know that we recently contracted with Marshall Protection Incorporated for supplemental security services. What does that mean for the protection of our children? Have we had a professional security assessment? Again, I feel that metal detectors and a greater security presence at all entry points, along with continued monitoring and surveillance during the day and at after-school activities, are necessary. We also need additional services for the assessment and management of the mental health of our students. I am an internal medicine physician, and I see the reality of mental illness daily. I have also been affected personally by gun violence. My cousin, Officer Paul Shulo, was one of the 3 police officers killed in Stanton Heights in April of 2009. I know that there are a number of excellent services, such as anti-bullying, suicide and homicide screening, fostering relationships, the homeroom teachers assigned to grades 9 through 12, and the student assistance program. But do we need more? In 2002, the U.S. Secret Service partnered with the U.S. Department of Education to study school violence and released the Safe School Initiative, examining school-based attacks carried out by current students or students who had recently left school. A second study in 2008 looked at the school environment that promotes or hinders information sharing. Since then, through the National Threat Assessment Center, they have provided training to schools and law enforcement. In February of this year, they released the Making Schools Safer Reference Guide. Are we utilizing this information? Do we need additional funds for these services? I realize that there are many challenges with school safety, but the resources are available to us. We must not let funding or appearance define our actions. Our children will feel safe, not scared, if they are educated that metal detectors, police officers, and security guards are necessary. We can do this as a district and as a community. We must do this to save our children's lives. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. If anyone else would like to address the board? Ms. Hathorn, thank you now.
Back to the rankings. Right now, the Pittsburgh Business Times ranked Pine-Richland School District 8th in the region out of nearly 105 school districts. And also, U.S. News and World Report also released its 2018 Best High School rankings, putting Pine-Richland second in Allegheny County and 11th in Pennsylvania. Wexford Elementary School was named U.S. Department of Education Green Ribbon School on May 16th. This distinction acknowledges Wexford's commitment to sustainable practices and its leadership in facilities, health, and environmental education. And Dr. Rick Walsh, principal, said the initiative is a result of the collective efforts of staff, students, and parents. And the efforts do not rest just with the building level alone, but at the district level as well. And the school will be recognized in a special ceremony on September 19th in Washington, D.C. And I believe Dr. Walsh is here. So congratulations to your school. Pine-Richland High School students earned the grand champion title at the National Robotics Lead National BattleBots Championships this past weekend. They beat 2 teams from Carnegie Mellon University and 2 previous national champions. Seniors James Baxter, Nathan Sumrock, Jonathan Wozniak, Michael Dolgus, Jacob Nichols, and Jack Hutchinson made up the high school team, so congratulations, and Evan Clark was their sponsor. So also Pine-Richland High School earned 6 Gene Kelly Award nominations for the performance of Oklahoma. Nominations included Best Musical, Best Actor to Tyler Hepler, who portrayed Will Parker, if you had a chance to see the production. Also Best All-Student Orchestra, Best Ensemble, Best Execution of Choreography, and Best Execution of Music Direction. So congratulations. The winners will be announced Saturday at 7:30 at the Benedum. So good luck to them. Pine-Richland High School World Languages Department earned the 2018-19 Globe Award through the Pennsylvania State Modern Language Association, and judges recognized the foreign language program as one of the exemplary programs across the country. Also, Pine-Richland High School students in advanced video and technology production classes earned several awards of excellence. You can see all of the winners at pinerichland.org/Pine-Richland High School. Also, Pine-Richland teams are facing WPIAL playoff action. Girls High School lacrosse will play in the 3rd round tonight at 7:30 and getting underway any minute. Boys lacrosse will play North Allegheny at Moon Wednesday at 8. The high school boys basketball team will take on Hemphill at West Mifflin on Tuesday at 4:30. The girls softball team played in the 1st round and were stopped by Mount Lebanon. Senior lacrosse player Marina Miller scored her 310th career goal on May 9th. That's a record for the high school girls lacrosse. She was also named Pittsburgh Post-Gazette's Athlete of the Week. Senior field hockey player Sarah Mooney earned the 2018 Most Positive Field Hockey Athlete in Western PA. Big congratulations. Also, field and track athletes also earned some awards. They placed, the girls 4x100 relay placed 3rd, girls 4x400 placed 6th. Danielle Bryant placed 4th in the girls intermediate hurdles. The boys 4x100 relay team also did well and placed 4th. And Luke Meckler placed 4th in boys 300 hurdles and 6th in the boys 100 meter dash. So these athletes will advance the PIAAs at Shippensburg. So big congratulations, a lot of stuff, and I'm sure more good news will come in before the end of the year. But tonight's extra special because we want to recognize our retirees, and we're honoring staff members who retire at the end of the school year. And it's bittersweet because they are members who have contributed the bulk, if not all, of their career here at Pine-Richland serving children. And when they go, we lose their wisdom and their expertise. And together, our spring retirees logged more than 279 years with the district, so quite impressive. And we want to begin our list of retirees with a retiree who has worked not only in special education learning support, but in emotional support in the life skills program in grades 9 to 12 for her career that began in 2000. And high school paraeducator Sherry Esser's colleagues say she will most be remembered for always supporting her fellow teachers and the amazing rapport she had with high school students. In retirement, she hopes to serve the community and devote her time to ministry, and she and her husband Gerard will be spending more time with their adult children and 9 grandchildren. So Sherry, would you come up and say?
I'd like to introduce my family. This is my husband Gerard, my daughter Chelsea, my granddaughter Naomi, my grandson Austin, my granddaughter Haley, my daughter Kristen and my son-in-law Matt. I cannot thank, excuse me, but I cannot thank Pine-Richland enough for allowing me to be part of this beautiful community. It's been a wonderful 18 years. I started out as a mom and I'm going out as a grandma, so I think I'm leaving because I'm so old. So, but I want to thank you so much. It's been wonderful. I didn't even know what autism was when I started, and the children have blessed me. So thank you.
Thank you, Sherry. Our next retiree biology teacher, Patty White, spent 30 years in Pine-Richland School District, not only teaching biology, but she coached middle school and varsity girls softball and varsity girls golf. Those who know her best will miss her, and they say she's challenged all learners and was extremely motivating and engaging. With extra time in retirement, she hopes to learn how to fly fish, and she will spend more time with her husband, Chris, and her adult children. And I'd like to introduce you and maybe introduce your family as well.
Thank you very much. I'm here with my husband, Chris. We've been married 32 years. My daughter, Maggie, and my other daughter, Sarah. And I'd just like to thank the board and Dr. Miller, Dr. Pasquinelli, Dr. Silva for all the opportunities, and you made me get choked up. Where is she? All the opportunities and all the resources that you have given me over the years to, teach my classes and perform the curriculum that I was, have given and help contribute to over the years, and do it the best that I could do it with everything that you've given me. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Patty. Next, we move on to the elementary school, and that's where we want to talk about Nurse Mary Beth Chips. She began her career at Pine-Richland as a paraprofessional at Hanson, Wexford 21 years ago. She started as a nurse at Wexford and then made her way to the high school and then back to Wexford again. Her colleagues say she demonstrates a high degree of integrity and dedication to students, families, and staff. She plans on spending retirement time with her family, her 93-year-old mother, and her 12 grandchildren, as well as traveling with her husband, John. She says she's blessed with a wonderful family and career.
Thanks, Rachel, and thank you, board. Thank you, Dr. Miller. And thanks to all the people I've worked with over the last 20 years or so. This has been my dream job, and leaving it is very bittersweet. I'm really looking forward to time with my family, and but I plan on coming back to visit, maybe as a royal reader. So thanks again for all the opportunities and all the blessings I've had over the last many years working in Pine-Richland. I've really enjoyed it.
Thanks, Mary Beth. Next, paraeducator Eileen Brennan began working in Pine-Richland School District in 1999. She started as an instructional assistant at Richland Elementary School for 2 years and then moved to Hants, where she serves as a paraeducator. Eileen got involved in the Pine-Richland Education Support Professionals Association when she began being a nurse, when she began back in 1999. And in her third year, she started to serve as an officer for each year since. And that duty will be missed. She says she will miss hearing the squeals of exuberance of a child who could not walk without assistance from an adult and used a gait trainer to walk independently for the very first time. Now, her colleagues say they will miss her tremendously. In retirement, she hopes to take some trips with her husband, Gary, to Seattle and San Francisco, where their sons live. Both of her children are proud PR graduates, and she is so appreciative of her husband who supported her and prepared meals when he retired a few years ago. She has many creative interests to pursue in retirement, but topping her bucket list, I think this will be fly fishing, is to be an extra in a Made in Pittsburgh movie. So we'll be watching for you. Eileen?
I would just like to say thank you. I have had a wonderful 19 years in Pine-Richland, and I'd like to say thank you to everyone who has been part of making this a district that I was always happy and proud to send my children to, and very proud to say I work for Pine-Richland. That was always, when somebody said, "What do you do?" I was always happy to say that I worked here. I was talking about retirement with some of my family members, and I said, I will miss it so much. I still love it. And not everyone can say that, and I'm lucky to say that. The children and the connections with the other people that I work with, are what make it so special. Children, you can go home and say, wow, I could have handled that better, or how can I handle that better tomorrow? And you come back the next day, and the children, they let you. They forget that you did a bad thing the day before. So that's what I try to do with the people that I work with and the kids that I work with, and it has been wonderful. Thank you. I probably I've been to many a meeting when I've said too much. Thank you.
Thank you, Eileen. I saved our longest-serving employee for last. Dr. John Mayberry served more than 39 years at Pine-Richland School District. He has taught 2nd, 3rd, 5th, and 6th grade in his 24 years of being in the classroom. Since leaving the classroom, he has served as Dean of Students at the middle school, as an alternative high school principal at Beatty Career Center, and an assistant high school principal, as well as an acting high school principal. He wrapped up his career as principal at Hants Elementary School, in which he has been serving for the past 8 years. John has served as president of the Pine-Richland Education Association in the past. He was an assistant football coach for 12 years. a head baseball coach for 19, and an assistant wrestling coach for 4 years. He said he will miss his last post at Hance Elementary School, and his colleagues in turn say they will miss Dr. Mayberry most because he is very patient and giving of his time. He didn't really give many details on what he's going to do in retirement, so I was curious, but he will be spending more time with his wife Pam and their grown sons and grandson during retirement.
I am joined this evening by my wife Pam, who is with me in the back, and I'm very grateful that she was able to hustle home from work and come out this evening. I'm very humbled by this, to be able to stand in front of you. It takes me back to, I remember vividly, my first day walking into a classroom getting paid, okay? It was at Washington Elementary School in the 1978-1979 school year, and in that classroom was a little girl named Rachel Kress, who you now know as Rachel Hathorne. And I have been around long enough to see two other students of mine grow and become professionals and join Dr. Miller's senior leadership team, and that is Dana Kirk and Dr. Kristen Silbaugh. So it might be a sign that I'm a little bit overcooked, I don't know. But in all sincerity, I am very grateful for my life and experience at Pine-Richland. I embarrass my wife because I'm a fan of very, very old movies. And at the risk of dating myself, being one of the oldest people in the room, there was a movie called The Pride of the Yankees, and it was the life story of Lou Gehrig. And Lou Gehrig stood in front of a packed house at Yankee Stadium, dying of ALS, and telling the fans there that today he is the luckiest man on the face of the earth. And I feel that way too, that I am the luckiest man on the face of the earth. And I'm not even dying. So I am grateful to this board and this administration and all the boards and all the administration back to the very late 70s. So Rachel's right. I don't know what I'm going to do in retirement, but that's okay. That's okay. So thank you very much for doing this evening. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We also want to take time to thank middle school guidance counselor Marcy Thomas, Eden Hall Upper Elementary fourth grade teacher Janet Bach, Richland Elementary educator Terry Medwig, athletic office secretary Mary Seaman, and high school math teacher Sue Bailey, and second grade teacher Megan Kruth for their many years of service. They could not be here tonight, but when I asked Megan Kruth about her years at Pine-Richland, she said that as educators, we strive to touch the lives of children, but in reality, it's the children that touch our lives. And I thought that was perfectly put. So congratulations and thank you for your many years of service. Tonight, in honor of retiree recognition, Pine-Richland's food service provider, Sodexo, is sharing Eden Hall Upper Elementary School's 2018 Future Chef Challenge winning recipe for retiree recognition. And I'd like to introduce Diane Buckman, food service manager, and she has some more details about a special guest celebrity we have here.
Good evening. I'm here to present our 2018 Future Chef winner. This is our 7th year of running our Future Chef competition. And I'm going to have Ryan Katzvei come up here. So I'll tell them a little bit about what you did. So this year our competition was Healthy Asian Fusion Recipes, and Ryan came up with asparagus wrapped bulgogi over lemon butter rice, which we do have samples for everyone to try this evening. Ryan was out of 6 finalists, so he was our winner here at Eden Hall. Ryan also was one of 40 recipes chosen nationwide out of 250 recipes. So at both competitions, he did get some lovely prizes. Did you decide if you wanted to see if he wants to say anything? Okay, well, Ryan does want to thank everyone. He said he would like to thank Pine-Richland and the food service, and he'll be out there to answer any questions on our recipe. So thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We're going to take a brief recess to enjoy the snacks that are provided and to mingle and congratulate our retirees again. After that, the board's going to meet for a brief executive session for a personnel matter, and we'll reconvene in hopefully about 15 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's reconvene the meeting. Ms. Williams, correspondence, please.
The following people contacted the board regarding cross-country: Robert Charland, Quentin Johnson, Jared Oland, Josh Zivkovich, and Michael Bednar contacted the board regarding school safety. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 1.05 is a motion to approve the meeting minutes as attached.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 2.01 is a strategic plan update from Dr. Miller.
Thank you. I won't read or talk about really what's printed here, but my hope is to see if the board is available for a summer workshop. Typically in June, the senior leadership team has a 2-day retreat workshop where we look back at the year, we look at some of the data information we have for performance, and then we begin to plan and make adjustments for the following year. It's pretty challenging with summer schedules and vacations to find a date, so my request is to try to meet on prior to the single combined meeting that happens in July. We would do something like have dinner and then begin and try to get a couple hours of time together. So I just wanted to first put that out and see if that's something that would work for the board. Good?
Yep.
Okay.
I think I'm the only one that would have a conflict at that time. But,
Okay.
I wouldn't want to hold everyone else back from, so I can catch up with folks afterwards.
Okay. And we,
Like Carter area.
yeah, something like that. Right. Yeah. And we'll work to get some information even maybe in advance so we have some feedback. And then the second, we're headed into the final year of the current strategic plan. And as we step back to look at process and think about how we want to plan the next 4 years, we certainly have some ideas as a leadership group about what to keep from our last process and where we might refine that a little bit. But my hope was to have a committee meeting literally focused on the process of strategic planning, just so we can come to consensus around how that'll work. Whether that's committee meeting untitled, or a committee of the whole, or a special committee, or just a meeting where the topic is strategic planning, and we work it that way. But similar thinking, I had the first meeting in August, first board meeting is August 6th. My thought would be start at 6 o'clock, and we have an hour to spend on that topic there. We may not need to call it a special anything. It may just be a committee meeting focused on strategic planning.
or a work session even, but
Either, yeah.
we'll get together and figure out the best way if it needs to be advertised and how.
Okay. Good, thank you.
Thank you very much. Third item is the consent agenda, Buildings and Grounds and Student Services consent agenda. The following items were combined to create a single consent agenda. By this motion, we are approving items as listed. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? I'm sorry, is there any discussion or any items people would like pulled from the agenda? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Kashani, Finance, please.
Item 4.01 is a motion to approve the financial reports dated April 30th, 2018, and accounts payable dated May 21st, 2018, in the amount of $1,241,509.11, and paid accounts for April, May, in the amount of $8,686,123.48 as listed.
Do I have a second? Is there any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 4.02, motion to approve the budget transfers in the amount of $2,214,513.94.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say yes. Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 4.03, motion to approve the A.W. Beatty Career Center budget for the 2018-2019 school year as set forth in the proposed budget dated April 4th of 18, totaling $9,470,125.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Opposed? Motion carries. And do you want to add, Ms. Williams?
Yes, in your folder, there should be a document for you to indicate what your vote was and to sign. And then you can just leave that in your folder, and I'll collect it afterwards. Thank you.
And please actually take a moment to do so right now. Just thank you. Dr. Meyer? Academic achievement?
Item 5.01, motion to approve the purchase of curricular resource materials in mathematics for grades K through 5 at a cost of $415,813.90, in honors chemistry and physical science at a cost of $30,747.38, in academic chemistry at a cost of $25,719.36, and advanced placement physics at a cost of $15,200.
Second.
Is there any discussion? I've said this before, but it bears saying again and again. This is obviously a great expense. The $500,000 is only a fraction of the investment. The time and dedication to ensure these materials are useful to students, to teachers. They're aligned. They advance our curriculum. They don't supplant it. They don't sit on a shelf somewhere. That's what's so valuable about this. And so the investment that our teachers, department chairs, vice principals, principals, assistant superintendents, superintendents have all made, let's throw in the money behind that to support that investment that everyone made, staff, teachers, and administrators. So I'm very happy to support this because I know it is so well aligned and will really support our mission. So thank you all. Any other discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries. Dr. Campbell, Student Services, please. I'm sorry. Yep.
Buildings and Grounds is that.
I took my glasses off for a second, and I took my eyes off the screen. That's great.
Not much in buildings and grounds other than the consent agenda, which is already approved. Item 6.01 is looking to schedule a committee meeting on June 18th, which would be before the regular meeting that month, which is good with me. I assume 6 o'clock would be the start time. Everybody else in the committee good?
Great. Thank you. Dr. Campbell.
Okay, item 7.01, we've got a motion to approve the updated 2018-2019 Pine-Richland Discipline Code as presented with some modifications from last year.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, we have another motion to approve the 2018-2019 secondary student handbooks as presented for the middle school and the high school.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And our last item, 7.03, is just a PIAA championship update for information purposes about our students who are going to the PIAA championships for track and field, which was previously approved last fall.
Thank you.
Second.
Just a,
Oh, just a, okay, sorry.
Ms. Goebel, Staff Services.
Item 8.01 is a motion to approve the local agency adjudication in the matter of employee access discussed.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 8.02, motion to approve the personnel supplemental items as attached.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed?
No.
Motion carries.
Item 8.03, motion to approve the student teachers and nurse practicum as attached.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries.
8.04, motion to approve as the third and final reading policy 109, resource materials as attached.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Moy.
Item 9.01, motion to approve the attached agreement with Marshall Protection to provide supplementary security services for the district.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 10.01 is a motion to approve the board treasurer for the term beginning July 1st, 2018. I'll ask once again if anyone else would like to step forward. I am very happy to make this motion to approve Mark Ashani as board treasurer effective July 1 through June 30, 2019. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate your service. Item 10.02 is a certification of PSBA voting delegates. Before it's seconded, I did inquire with Ms. Williams that the PSBA deadline, we could still meet this and pass this motion in June. So I know we have probably at least 2 members who are interested and possibly more. It's a ways out to plan for October, so I would suggest we actually don't even second it. That way we don't have to table it. And we'll just leave it sit there because we can leave this wait for another month and discuss it some more. So if anyone else has any interest in this or would like more information, please reach out to me in email. We'll give a little update later in the month or in the beginning of June. Does that work, Ms. Williams? Okay. Everyone in agreement? You can second it against my will. Okay. Item 10.03 is the 2018 PASA PSBA School Leadership Conference, a motion for the open-ended attendance of any interested board member at the PASA PSBA School Leadership Conference.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 10.04 is a motion to approve the attendance of Ms. Barbara Williams, School Board Secretary, at the 2018 PSBA School Board Secretaries Conference in Pocono Manor in August 2018.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 10.05 is the third and final reading of Policy 011, the Principles of Governance and Leadership.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? I will add, I was, and I hope we all were, when Ms. Williams sent around our logins and asked us to confirm with PSBA, I did go back in because it had been a couple months to their learning education site, but I also noticed the list, what I consider an honor roll school districts who had passed this policy and endorsed these principles. And I wish it were longer. We'd be very proud to ask Ms. Williams to add our name to that list, which will look to be just recently updated. So I'll look to add ourselves in those roles as well, because I do believe in these principles, and I hope we can live up to them as a board. Thank you all for your support in this. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Opposed? Motion carries. And item 10.06 is a motion to accept, in accordance with Board Policy 702, and our sincere gratitude, a donation of funds to attend the PAGE Conference on November 29th in Cranberry Township.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, say yes. Yes. Opposed? Motion carries, and many thanks for that kind donation. Reports, I have none.
I have a few. First is just to thank Rachel. We are very fortunate for so many events in our district that Rachel is able to be there, capture it, record it, organize ceremonies like tonight, which are simple but classy. You see the impact that it has on our retirees, their families. You see how much they've committed. So Rachel has a way of just having it all taken care of. And celebrating the workforce, those who retire, is a critical part of the overall organization. So Rachel, thank you for that. June 1st is commencement. Commencement, if you have not been to one in a while, is a special evening. My personal favorite day of the year is the first day of school. It's an amazing thing to work in schools and feel what that first day is like, especially at the younger levels. But commencement is definitely, for me, 1B or 2 in the year. It's an incredible night. You reach a point where the seniors get a little perspective and appreciation. They're so close, but they appreciate what staff members have done. They begin to realize that the staff members have challenged them, not for any reason other than to prepare them and help them to have the skills necessary after graduation to be successful. Grandparents, parents, it's just a great night. So if you are able to be there, I would just ask that you strongly consider joining us that evening. The larger the presence from the senior leadership team and the board, I think that's a powerful message of leadership sent to our family. So schedules don't always work, but June 1st, hopefully dry weather, and we hold it in the stadium. If not, it's a logistical challenge that we have experienced once, and it happens in the auditorium. But we're hoping for the stadium. Thank you.
Yeah, I would second that. And for those new board members, you do get the chance to congratulate, shake hands with the graduates as they come down there after receiving the diploma. And there is nothing like it. You'll think you'd get tired of shaking hands with half the senior student body, but trust me, each one is on a level of elation and mixed emotions, and you'll remember it long after they forget shaking your hand, I assure you.
Yeah, and we often, again, and I usually speak to this in my comments, but it's always the class of and the class of, but the reality is it's each individual graduate, and they all have a different story. And for some, it's been smooth sailing. For some, they have stretched and fought and clawed, and they made it there. And you really get a feeling and sense of that when you're there shaking hands and seeing all the kids.
Thank you. Any other report?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have two reports. One is the Prof report that, so there's a new executive board that will start on Prof as of July 1st, which was listed in the report there. And there was a nice party sending off to Maura Singer for her 8 years of volunteer service to Prof, and there was administration and board members present, which was really, it's a really nice get-together, and nice thank you to Maura and to Prof. Prof is going to do food trucks in the park, along with the Friends of Pine Park this summer, and the dates and the times are there in the report, and they're also doing their annual Farm to Table event at Chatham University in September, and there will be more details on that and invitations to the board and the community. And there was a grant that was tabled the last session and has now been approved. It was for 2 projectors for 3D projection mapping for Mr. Dolphin had put in that grant, and it was then backed by Aaron Kaler and Rob Montgomery as far as use within the school district, more depth and breadth in the curriculum, and actually for other activities after school or other clubs after school. So Prof has given away about $48,000 in grants this year. They've awarded that much this year. Scholarships, they will be giving, administering and awarding about $48,000 in scholarships this year also. And they would like to give a presentation to the board in the fall as far as a follow-up with a visual for some of the grants and scholarships and so on. And then the A.W. Beatty Awareness Committee that you see the list of Dr. Pasquinelli, myself, Ginny, Jen Miller, guidance counselor at Eden Hall, and then Jean Whalen, college counselor here, and then Tony Filipowski. And as we'd said that at one of the last meetings that we had, that the goal of this committee is to increase the awareness of career and technical education, and that's the new term, the updated term for what used to be called the vocational education or vocational training. And it's really to take a look at the possibilities for the future of the students when they go into the career and technical, or how to explore. And so the goal for the awareness is really just so that the students and parents are making informed decisions about their future plans, and to look at career and technical education as an opportunity or an option. And there's 2 prongs to what we're doing, is to educate the community on the CTE, which is easier to say, and then also through highlighting the hands-on aspects of it, of the CTE. And Beatty has lots of camps that they're doing this summer. They used to do 2, probably about, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. It was only 2 camps that they do, and now there's like 6 camps or so that they're doing over the summertime. And we're also increasing the visibility and the accessibility of the A.W. Beatty website and the information on programming on the Pine-Richland website. It was kind of buried a little bit, so that's in process right now, being done, so it's a little bit easier to find, and that it's also updated. And then on the other end of it, through the counselors at school are continuing to educate themselves in the school environment, and themselves and the students. And so Tony Filipowski does attend meetings with other counselors from various districts who are part of the CTE training, and they all share ideas, and then she comes back and disseminates that information to the staff here at the high school. There's also an open house that happens at the high school in the fall, and in about January timeframe, right before classes are being looked at, or class choices for students scheduling, there's A.W. Beatty comes in and talks with freshmen and sophomore about the options for CTE. And we're also looking at, or the district is looking at updating or integrating more Beatty information, videos into the program of studies. So, do you have anything more, Mike, at all to
The only thing
add?
I'd add is, we looking, and through this committee, we partner with Beatty as early as Eaton Hall. And they come out to the school and they work with our students at Eaton Hall. And like Chris said, we're just looking for those opportunities for awareness. When we do our program of studies, we talk about right student, right course, and as Dr. Miller mentioned, with each student having their story, every student has their path through high school in order to figure out what they want to do next. And we feel like making sure that they know what Beatty offers and families understand that, and some of the misconceptions that are there are eliminated through awareness and clear communication. So that's what this committee's all about, and we look forward to just continuing to share updates.
Mhm. And then at the bottom of the report, those links are active to videos. The first one is a Career Center Spotlight. It's like a 13-minute video that we're going to show a little. Can we show a little piece of that?
Just the beginning, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In this program, students will learn the basics of traditional graphic design, web design, and much more.
Hi, my name is Alexandra Hepler. I am a 2013 graduate of A.W. Beatty Career Center for the Advertising Design program. I currently work at Higher Images. It is a digital marketing agency in Bridgeville, Pennsylvania, and I'm their creative director. My number one takeaway from Beatty was all of the professional skills that basically coming out of Beatty, I was ready to go into the workforce, but I decided to go to college, and when I got there, I found out that I was way advanced than any of the other kids there, which of course is, a one-up, but it allowed me to develop my skills in other areas too.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Chuckry, and I am the instructor in the Veterinary Sciences Technology program here at Beatty. This is Hank. He is one of our program dogs, and he's here almost every day for us to do fun stuff. We cover everything in...
And then the other video link that is there, and we won't go through that one, but it has lots of...
That was a teaser.
Right. The other video link is has lots of statistics on... it's not just career and technical education, it's also on the workforce, numbers on the jobs that are available, the number of people that are available to fill those jobs. It's very interesting if you take a look at that. So I'd highly recommend looking at Success in the New Economy and then also the A.W. Beatty. And when you do the Beatty ones, if you go to the YouTube one, it actually then flips over to there's a LipDub one. And that one's actually really, it's interesting because it really shows all the different departments, programs that they have there. So, anyway.
Is Hank in that one?
The dogs don't have the lips on. Not. Good question.
So I'll bring out because I think this is great. I think doing something like this for us as a school is overdue because I do feel that there's been a negative connotation to Beatty, to students in particular. What's highlighted in that last one, going to Beatty doesn't mean you're not going to go to college, but it's also, it seems like there's a connotation that says, well, if you go to Beatty, then somehow you're a lesser student than you are. That's kind of the connotation. I would love to see that change because right now, I don't know how many of you have tried to hire anybody that has hands-on. We were just talking about this, trying to get somebody that's hands-on, experienced, willing to work. I mean, these kids can write their own ticket going to Beatty, and I don't think they know that. There's a lot of kids that want to be entrepreneurs. They want to go into business or marketing. They go to college, and I've seen it 1, 2, 3 years, and then all of a sudden they're changing their major or they don't know what they're going to do. I feel if we could have integrated them into Beatty, they would have had a leg up whether they wanted to go to college or start off right away. So college route isn't necessarily for everybody. Hands-on is better learning for certain kids. I really think integrating this and making this, pulling this into our curriculum somehow, and when we talk about that, to somehow educate the kids and at least expose everybody to it. Because some people, you could be the valedictorian and find that, you know what, this is my calling, this is where I'm going to succeed. And it doesn't put a cap on where they can be as students. So I love this. I read this, I watched the videos, this was,
Right.
to me, this was ridiculous.
Yeah, the neat thing is that students can either do like a full 3-year program and come out with the certifications in a, if they stay with that one program area, or they could 1 year try one area, then the next year try another. I know that my sons still are searching through college and beyond, what area do they want to focus in? And maybe if they'd done something more like this, they might have more of a hands-on and really being able to explore a little bit more. They might have been able to figure it out. So, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Bisbach. Recognition of visitors, seeing how we have no... Did I say echo? I know, did I say maybe Siri?
Siri's the visitor. During the minutes, sir.
Sorry.
I'll take a motion to close the meeting. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.
Thank you.